Hi folks, I'm Craig Taylor, and as always a huge thank you for joining me here on my YouTube channel, the Bushcraft Padawan. Regular viewers and subscribers will be well aware that since the beginning of this year, 2017, I've been undertaking a year-long online tree and plant identification masterclass run by Kirtley from Frontier Bushcraft. The way that the programme works is roughly every month a new level or a new module opens up, and you work your way through that, and at the end of each of those months / levels I record a short video just like I'm doing now, just to help share with you what I've been up to, what the course has been doing, and how I'm feeling and how I'm progressing through it. So we are now at the beginning of October. A few weeks ago module 9 opened up and I've been working my way through that module, and that's what I'm going to talk about in this video. But before I do, I just want to cast my mind back to module 8. If you've not watched it, I'll link to the video up here. I was on a bit of a downer in module 8. There was a lot of information about berries. There was a lot to consume, if you'll pardon the pun. There was a lot to take in, and it just kind of didn't hit home with me, if I'm really honest. Skip forward a few weeks, and what do you know, I'm wandering around doing my usual kind of morning walks and lunchtime walks and things like that, and I'm seeing these berries everywhere and I'm identifying them. They may or may not have been the berries that were covered in module 8, but I just feel a little bit more comfortable now looking at these berries and helping me identify what tree they're from. So again, another big advantage of the programme, it's not stop-start, it's not siloed in terms of its content, it's continually evolving thing as nature is, and just because we covered something a few modules ago doesn't mean it's not relevant today, tomorrow, next week or anything like that. So I may have been on a bit of a downer about module 8, but even though we're in module 9, I'm drawing upon things that I learned or that have started to seeds have been planted. Again, if you'll pardon the pun, seeds have been planted in my head as we move throughout the rest of this module and indeed to next year. So module 9, quite unusual this module, and I've really enjoyed it. I've really liked it. Module 9, Paul has talked a lot about the Boreal Forest. I'd never really heard of the Boreal Forest until I started on this particular programme, and yet I have been in the Boreal Forest on many occasions, both in the UK, up in Scotland, and overseas when in the military on exercise or operations or adventurous training. I've been in the Boreal Forest, didn't know that that's what I was in though. I won't go into detail in this video. If you're interested in what the Boreal Forest is, and believe me, it's big, it's kind of everywhere in the Northern Hemisphere, or the north of the Northern Hemisphere. It's kind of everywhere. It's transpolar, if that's the right word. Look up the Boreal Forest, you'll find a lot more about it. Paul did a wonderful job in this particular module of sharing his experiences in the Boreal Forest, linking that with primarily tree identification, if I recall correctly, but he also did an excellent job of curating in other people's work, his own posts and other people's work into this particular module. It gave a great insight, not just into tree and plant identification. We've done that throughout the rest of the year. This was a great opportunity to actually see those trees in their natural environment being used by people for real world purposes, not just for the purpose of identifying them. So we're not quite at the end of the programme yet, and it doesn't quite feel like we are, but it was something sort of nice as we're coming towards the end. It was something very different. It was something that for me added a lot of context into what we've been looking at the rest of the year. So great effort, Paul. I really enjoyed this particular module. In terms of what I've been doing, I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I've been getting out and about, and that berries have kind of been catching my eye. So the berries that have sort of caught my eye over the past week or two, hawthorn. I'm conscious that hawthorn is quite prominent in my area. It's never really stopped me in my tracks until quite recently when I saw the berries, and that sucked me into actually identifying the tree or the shrub or the plant itself. White beam is something else that I've noticed quite recently. Again, it was the berries that caught my eye and drew me in. And also evergreen or home oak. as well. Again, it was the fruit, it was the berries that drew me in to identify that particular species. So it's quite interesting. These berries, they stand out, they're prominent, they catch your eye. Leaves tend to be green or shades of green from a distance. From my perspective, they all kind of look the same, although that's not starting to not be as true. But berries, they jump out at you, they stand out, they're vivid, they're prominent, they draw me in to help identify species that I've either identified in the past, maybe their leaves have gone now, or that I've never even spotted, they've just faded into the background. The berries help them pop out for me. So there we are, we're at the end of another reflective video there. Next month, or perhaps just in a couple of weeks' time, we'll be going into module 10. We'll also be going into mid and late October and November in a few weeks' time as well. Things will be changing. Thanks as always for watching this video. If it's made you smile, if it's made you think, if it's made you want to get out and just have a look at the berries that are prominent in your area and try and use those for identification, do please give this video a thumbs up. If you feel like there's someone in your network that would benefit from watching this, do feel free to share it with them. If you want to say anything about the video, do drop it into the comments below. And I say this at the end of every video, thank you to those of you that are subscribers. I really appreciate it. And if you're not yet a subscriber, why not click on that subscribe button? It's in this bottom corner of the screen. Give it a whirl, give it a few months or a few weeks, see what my videos are like, see if it's worth keeping that subscription up. Hopefully you'll think it is, and hopefully you'll become, like many other people, a long-term subscriber. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, thanks for watching and take care. Cheers.